everybody, welcome to the Book Bar. It's Tuesday night. That means we're live. I'm Justin. With me, not as always, is Tyler. So instead, I have someone better and even more handsome, charming, interesting, insert adjective, Jeremy from Templar Pops. Jeremy, what's up?
Hello. You forgot intelligent.
Okay. I didn't say intelligent?
No,
okay, well,
you didn't.
Well, I think that's the gimme, I think is
right.
Well, the gimme is intelligence, and then all the other stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, thanks for joining me, man. We didn't have much of a show planned tonight, and we're like, we missed a couple of shows. We're like, no, we're going live, and I don't know what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Funko Pops.
Mm-hmm.
I have to do my humiliation. We're going to have to get Tyler next week because of your perfect performance in Star Wars trivia. Last week, you scored a perfect 66. By the way, all your prizes that you won went out today.
Nice.
So all that stuff's on the way. Everything that you won. If you missed it, go back and watch Templar take us down in Star Wars trivia last week. He won every single prize, comics and Funko Pops, books, all kinds of great stuff. So, and you really didn't need that much help from the chat.
I didn't. I was surprised, but they did help a couple of times for sure. That 11 question on the engines, I had no idea at all. I could see it, you know what I mean, but not the right way. I can see it the right way now, though, after doing that. But
yeah, see, that's one of those things where, like, now it doesn't matter if you never study Star Wars trivia ever again. No, you're always going to remember that the Tannin 4 has 11 engines. You're never going to forget that.
Let's hope that's the question, like when I'm sitting on $1 million in Vegas or something, and they're like, oh, yeah, this is a big one. Can you answer this question?
So because Templar got a perfect 66, Tyler and I have to do a humiliation. That's how it works. And so what Templar said he wanted us to do, he was nice to us, although it's also mean in a very different way. Is he wants us to have to put a lemon in our mouth, suck the lemon, and then say we love the sports team that we actually hate the most, right? So you can see, I don't know if you guys can see this right here, but so here we go. Templar, this is for you. Congratulations on your round.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and do this here. All right.
Bite right into it.
It's not too bad. Okay.
So who do you hate the most in sports?
Who do I love? I love the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Yeah.
And that could never be more true because the Ohio State Buckeyes finally lost to my Michigan Wolverines. The college football playoff rankings came out tonight. Just a little while. I'm going to be doing this for a minute. Actually, let me just
wash it down with some vodka. You'll be all right.
Wash it down with a little White Claw hard seltzer. It's really just sparkling water, so it's probably good for me. But yeah, they are number 2. Michigan is number 2 in the college football playoff rankings.
That's awesome.
I'm so excited. They get Iowa in the Big Ten championship game on Saturday night. I have a work Christmas party, and my wife and I, we are jetting from that thing early, man, because we have a dinner like at 5. The game starts, I think, at 8. So we're going to dinner, and we're gonna mingle for a few minutes, and then we are fake. Don't have a sitter out of there, and we are gone. We are going to watch the Big Ten championship, man.
Nice. Are you live or on the television?
Well, I would love to go see it live. It's in Indianapolis, which for where I live in Michigan is only about 5 or so hours. It's really not that far of a drive, but
it's not that bad.
Yeah, but Michigan hasn't played in the Big Ten championship since they started it, like in 2014, they started the Big Ten championship game because they never used to have a championship game. And now that they do, again, I'm going to be doing this. It really wasn't. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
No.
But it's their first trip to the championship game. Michigan really draws the biggest TV ratings of any program in the country. I think the Michigan-Ohio State game ratings almost doubled the second most watched college football game of the entire season.
Wow.
Which was Michigan State. So Michigan State, however they do it, it had like a 5-point-something million viewers on whatever the rating was. Michigan-Ohio State had like a 10 million rating. So it's just there's so many Michigan alum. That
Mhm.
game's gonna be the tickets are gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Michigan alums are gonna be filling that stadium. So even if I wanted to go, I'd probably have to pay $500 a ticket.
You can
and
see better at
I
home
ain't doing that.
anyways. Yeah, you
That's-
can see better at home. It's free, and you have all the beers you want for almost free.
for almost free.
Right,
Yeah, so
right.
I think we'll probably try to get to a bar, like a sports bar or something, where there'll be a fun atmosphere to watch the game.
Mhm.
If we can't get in there, we'll probably just go watch it at home. So we'll see. But
Yes.
I'm very excited. I do love the Ohio State Buckeyes today, and I've got more pieces here. I'll do another one. All
There
right.
you go. Maybe they'll lose again.
I love Ohio State. You guys are the
Lose.
best. You
Lose.
guys are the best. I'm so glad your defensive line is terrible. Anyways,
I know
What's
nothing of college football at all.
you're just like, okay, whatever
Yeah.
you say. What's up, Pops? Sire Speed, Jeremy, Brent, everybody who's jumping on. Here we got. What do we got, Brett? As another fan of a better M team in the Big Ten, I need you to kill Iowa.
Hey,
Of
see,
another M team in the Big Ten. So, I mean, is it Michigan State, Minnesota? What are we talking about here? Maryland? Why are there so many M teams in the Big Ten? But so, that's right. Jeremy's a Buckeye. Both of my Ohio teams lost to the Harbaughs. Jeremy, I feel terrible for you. I mean, this is a calling back to, was it last week when you let us know that you were a Buckeye? I got to say, normally I like to take the high road, but it's been so long since Michigan has beat Ohio State and got to play for a championship. And they're always, other than the Rich Rod years, they're always just like good, but never good enough. They've been 10-1 like 3 times going into the Ohio State game under Harbaugh, and then they just get waxed by Ohio State. So it felt great. The Gophers. Okay, so he's a Minnesota fan, and they have PJ Fleck as their head coach. He was the head coach of the Western Michigan Broncos, which I may or may not have attended college too. And so I'm a big fan of PJ Fleck. I actually went to Ford Field and watched Western Michigan win the MAC championship that year. They went 13-0, and then who did they lose to in the bowl game? Wisconsin? I think they lost to Wisconsin, went 13-1. But anyways, yeah, Maryland's not really a football team, but I mean, and pro stuff, Templar. I know you do some fantasy football and pro stuff. Now, obviously, I'm in Michigan, so the freaking Lions. I have such a hard time being an NFL fan. Yeah, exactly. And so, I've played some fantasy football, but not recently. So what do you got? You play fantasy football, right?
Yeah, and this has been a crazy season. Last year with COVID, everyone was nervous about whether there was even going to be a season. They made it through, and there was problems with your rosters and stuff. But this year's been nuts. And not COVID, but like Derrick Henry goes down for the season. Christian McCaffrey just went down for the season. That's a big deal in fantasy.
Right.
And I had McCaffrey. I drafted him first round, but he hasn't done anything. He did hardly anything last season because he was injured so much, and he really didn't put up much points this year. So losing him at this point in the season is not going to hurt me, I don't think. Last year it was devastating. Last year it crushed my team, but I'm doing good.
The NFL, it's so funny just because the Lions are just so terrible. I have such a hard time watching NFL games. I mean, they have a 17-game schedule now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how is your fantasy? Are you doing like 14 regular season weeks and like 2 playoff weeks?
Yeah, let me look here. I think that's it. We do 14 games, and then there's a quarterfinal, semifinal, and a final.
I wondered if, when I heard that they had extended the schedule, I wondered if fantasy players would extend their seasons or not, because it just seems even more likely as they play more games that the season could be wrapped up even earlier. You know what I mean? And that teams will be sitting players. And that was always, I remember when you go through week 16 with your schedule, that like that final week, sometimes like you don't have a roster. You got to drop starters to try and fill your team.
People get benched because they're going to the playoffs. They're resting players, all kinds of things, or they're out of playoff contention. They're not going to run the starters. Yeah, our league is set up so that last week is not a part of the playoffs. It's the next to the last game of the season. That's our championship match.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
So
cool.
Reasonably expect that everyone's going to be playing, and reasonably expect that healthy players are available for up to that last week.
Yeah, you hope so. Set
this season.
So see, now I've just got like a taste. I've got a taste for these now. See,
it's not bad once you get used to it. See, I'm trendy. I started another trend here on YouTube. Everybody witness the trend being set here. I recommend it. Try that out. It's good for you. Cleanse the palate.
Sure it does. It does. Mixed with a black cherry White Claw, it's really mediocre. But anyways, so we don't have much Star Wars content to talk about. You know, there's been some news, right? There's been news and casting rumors, and obviously we've got the Book of Boba Fett. And I think I saw it. Has the trailer been released for the Book of Boba Fett?
Yes, the official trailer. Now they're recutting it. So you're getting a week ago, I guess, they released the actual trailer. And then now during the football game last night, there was a recut where they showed a couple of additional scenes and didn't put so much and removed some scenes. So that's, keeping up. Yeah. There's a picture of Boba in a Bacta tank, actually, that I thought was pretty intriguing.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna see if I can bring this up. We're gonna watch it.
I'm a big fan of Bacta. It played last night during the game, so
let me see let me see if I can get this up, man. We're gonna watch it right now if we can. So let's.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Let's see if I can share my screen here. Get my Book of Boba Fett trailer up. See, now I can't see myself, but okay. All right. So what do we got? Can I enlarge this so we can actually see it a little better?
There you go.
Does that look any different or no? I feel like that looks worse.
You should be able to full screen. Yeah.
Yeah, but then I can't. I don't think I can tab. Oh, maybe I can. Okay. How's that look? Okay. All right. So let me make sure. I think I shared the audio. Templar, tell me immediately if you can hear the audio.
Yes.
Okay.
I am Boba Fett. Left for dead on the sands of Tatooine.
Oh, love it.
Jabba ruled with fear. I am with respect.
Oh, I was going to say
Book of Boba Fett, streaming December 29th on Disney+.
Oh, yes.
I was going to say he intends to rule with strength, but... So is this a different trailer than we're watching now?
Oh, yeah, look at this. This is different. I haven't seen this.
I am Boba Fett.
The Book of Boba Fett, streaming December 29th, only on Disney+.
Happy New Year, indeed.
Is this like a compilation of all the Book of Boba Fett trailers?
I am not a bounty hunter.
It's like 3 minutes long. Okay.
This is the official trailer.
I wonder if those were all like various, like you said, cuts. Boba Fennec Shan.
I know that you sit on the throne of your former employer.
Jabba ruled with fear. I intend to rule with respect.
You were all once captains under Jabba the Hutt.
I'm here to make a proposal that's mutually beneficial. Why speak of conflict when cooperation can make us all rich?
What prevents us all from killing you and taking what we want?
If you had spoken such insolence to Jabba, he'd have fed you to his menagerie.
Please. Speak freely.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You can tell that the way that they've been doing the trailers, you can tell that the best of what you're not even seeing the best part of that stuff yet. That was a sick image with him in the Bacta, though. Oh, big fan of Bacta.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know what's also awesome is, despite the fact that we are a very small channel, we still get spammed during the live comments sometimes.
I
don't know
missed
if anybody
that.
can see it. I think I blocked whoever it is, but it's like it's so funny that they have these bots set up to just go in and spam live streams.
It's an invasion. It's an invasion.
So yeah, so let's see. Cyrus Speed says, yeah, the trailer is out. We just watched it.
Mm.
We got Banta Boba. He's got his ninja crew. So I gotta say, Templar, and then tell me what you think. When I heard about The Mandalorian, I was not super excited. I was like, okay, I hope this isn't terrible. That was kind of my expectation. I was like, I hope this isn't bad. And I watched it, and it grew on me, and I still thought it had some cheesy moments at times, some Star Wars-esque cheesy moments at times. But I did really like it. I thought it was a lot more entertaining than I thought it was going to be. Like the cheesy moments to me, for example, would be like when he's with Queel and he learns to ride the little two-legged little guy, but they set it up as like this big story of like he needs to do this to overcome something. It's like, no, he's just trying to ride a little animal, and they make it into this big long thing. I thought it was silly. But of course, the end, the shootout, finding the child, absolutely phenomenal. And of course, the child steals the show, and now he's like the most popular character ever.
Oh yeah. I thought the same thing going into it, with having watched the films, and it was like, man, if they screw this up, it's not going to be good. But I think that they redeemed themselves, and it just got better. The storytelling got better and better and better as it went along, and more entrenched into the bigger story that they're going to expand into. You know, that's really great. They set everything up so well with that series.
Yeah, I think so too. And season 2 just got better and better. We meet live action Ahsoka. Obviously, we see Luke Skywalker return. It's just, yeah, they really did such great stuff with that show, and I was so impressed. And now it's like, now I'm even kind of, as much as I am when it comes to Star Wars, I'm a Jedi nerd, and like I love the lightsaber battles, even some of the ones that people don't always love, like Yoda Dooku. Watching Yoda.
Oh, sick.
Watching Yoda fight Dooku and spin around like a spider monkey, come at him like a spider monkey, was just what it like gives me chills every time I watched it. I probably seen it 1,000 times. I just, God,
true story. Good. I got a true story about that moment. A friend of mine and I went to a community movie theater that was showing it at midnight. No one else in the state was showing it. So we drove 2.5 hours to a community theater in this little town.
Oh, really?
And the owner's like, I don't care if I get sued. I own this place, and this is my reel. We're playing it. So the place was packed full of zealots. You know, we were ready to go. And that moment happened. That place erupted. People jumped right up, screaming like, "Yes!" You know, it wasn't the only moment in the film that happened. I'm kidding. No. It was good. It was a great movie, but yeah, that was spectacular. Seeing that for the first time live and having that Star Wars moment with everybody's just like so excited. Can't beat that.
It was awesome. And I mean, just there's only so many moments where like I've gone to like an opening night or something and like actually had an experience where like the crowd in the movie theater like just goes bananas.
Right.
And that was one of them. That was one of them during the Yoda Dooku fight. We went to like the midnight showing or whatever for Attack of the Clones. The other that I can remember is Avengers Infinity War, when Thanos actually snaps and then all the characters start. I mean, people were crying, people were yelling,
wow.
You know, people were freaking out watching that live when that moment happened. And like everyone was just shocked. And then, you know, the credits roll. That's the only time I can think of right now of that. But
that's fun.
But it's so awesome. So, you know, Brent says it's going to suck to have to watch one or two. Not sure if they're dropping them. You have to wait a week. I don't know about you. I like to wait. I like the anticipation. I really do. I think sometimes when they just drop like 10 episodes, you power watch them and you're like, all right, what's the next thing? But it's like when you get one episode and you're like, okay, that was great. Now what next week? Like, let's pick it apart. Watch it again. Look, watch it even closer, right? Like, what are we going to get? What's going to happen? I like that. I know that now that we live in streaming and they were dropping things together, now people are impatient about that stuff. But I prefer the wait. What about you?
Yeah, it's both ways. If I'm really into a show, I want to binge it because sometimes I don't get back to it. But with the Star Wars, I don't mind waiting week to week. And like the new Dexter show. I've enjoyed waiting week to week on that. Who's going streaking? The Pop Sits going streaking?
No, I think this was from the person I had to ban in chat.
Oh,
He was spamming like X-rated. What did it say?
boy.
Online strips without clothing. All right, as opposed to stripping with clothing. Now, if you strip without clothing, what do you strip? That doesn't make sense. Like varnish.
Right.
That's the
Get a
stupidest.
loofah?
That's the stupidest on the spot joke that I've ever said.
That
was a Tyler joke. So I'm gonna chug this.
That was a bad Tyler joke.
Mm-hmm. I hope he's watching right now.
Me
I'm gonna grab my next lemon. All right.
There you go. Get ready, Tyler. You're next.
I love Ohio State.
It's a Sith ritual. Force lemon.
Force lemon. Oh,
Ooh.
man.
It's a Star Wars question. So Obi-Wan watching New Hope last week 300 times reminded me that Obi-Wan,
It's called
before we see him get the Tusken Raiders are dragging Luke off, and then you hear this screech, right? Is that a Force screech? Because I've seen that spoken of when Palpatine attacks the Jedi that come to kill him. He uses Force screech to confuse them. It's a Force power
sort of like paralyze
people.
them or something.
Yeah.
And now, what did you say the first part was?
Obi-Wan. When you first meet Obi-Wan, he scares the Tusken Raiders off, and he uses Force screech to do that. There's like a howling noise that precedes him, and then there he is. And
now,
they take off.
I had heard that he's actually impersonating a crate dragon. That's what I heard he's doing.
Right.
Because they're afraid of crate dragons. Crate dragons live in the sea over there. And so that's what I think I read one time but that's a great trivia question.
So it's Force impersonation.
Force impersonation.
This was like my Force Wookiee last week.
Which was it's a solid Chewbacca impression. Yeah.
Oh
man. Force voice impersonation. Now everybody's going streaking. We're going to get the chat together one of these days, and we're all going to go streaking, guys. We're going to go out in the gymnasium afterwards. Maybe we'll go to KFC. I don't know. Maybe they're open. Maybe they're not.
Right. It's about 4 degrees here in Maine, so I'm not going streaking.
It's probably in the 20s or 30s right now in Michigan.
Yeah.
It was snowing a little bit earlier today. It's been cold, but not horrendous here. But we've been getting a little bit of snow. I mean, really, the last few years, we haven't got snow until like Christmas Day or a little after Christmas. Yeah. And I'm in Grand Rapids, so I get lake effect a lot. So we get a decent amount of snow here. But like, it really doesn't start snowing until around Christmas time. But we've already got 5-6 inches in Grand Rapids probably in the last few days, even before December.
Right.
No, it's not good. It's not good.
We don't have
like
any
snow.
here, which is
I don't
really
like
unusual. Yeah,
you have no snow? Just
Nothing.
cold?
No, yeah, just cold. Yeah. But
Where,
last year was like that too. Huh?
Do you get lake effect at all?
No. We do
Not
have
really?
lakes, but no, not like that. We get nor'easters here, though. It comes in off the ocean. It's probably the similar idea, though. But the nor'easters, when they come through, are like, they're basically hurricanes, but with snow,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and those can be
terrible.
Oh, yeah, those can be brutal. Right before COVID, right? So here's we're trapped in the house anyways this winter. And then COVID's coming, so we're terrified. We don't know what's going on. We're watching CNN too much. And then everything locks down. So we're like, all right, that's this decision. We're going to roll that. We're ready for it. Yep. And then like a week later, not even a week later, here comes this freak ice storm. And it just obliterates our community, just our square area. Yeah. Trees, power lines, everything's destroyed. Two trees on our cars right in the middle of all this. Power goes out for 4 days. No heat, no hot food. The cars are smashed because the trees came down. I had to cut all those trees. Oh, it was so bad. It was the worst timing ever.
In a very similar story, I actually remember right about that same time, I actually stubbed my toe really hard in the dark one night.
Oh boy.
And that really hurt. And I imagine that was pretty much the same experience.
A similar loss. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So we're troopers, so it was fun, sort of.
You're probably tougher than we are. Yeah. Brent says, has anyone heard anything about Ahsoka? So I really haven't, other than casting rumors. Mm-hmm. I've heard that I think I've heard that Ezra from right, from Star Wars Rebels is going to be in there. I don't know if he's actually been cast. I heard casting rumors. And then I believe Grand Admiral Thrawn is going to be the main villain, which Thrawn is one of my favorite characters. Loved him in Rebels, love him in the books. He's just, he's that one guy where you're like, okay, if you could be anybody in Star Wars, but you couldn't have Force powers, right? You can't be a Jedi or a Sith. Who do you want to be? I'm like, I want to be Grand Admiral Thrawn. He's just I love reading the books, just so smart, so tactical, and just how he, the one with Vader, what is the name of that one? The second one in like his, in the new canon trilogy, like the one with Vader and the interactions with him and Palpatine. And it's just, it just ties the world together. And so when you see him, anybody who's read the books is going to be like, he's been with Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader, and he's, met with the Emperor Palpatine. It's just, I can't wait. I really hope he's in it. I think Lars Mikkelsen, the guy who voiced him in Rebels, has been cast.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
As
So
Thrawn.
I feel good about that. Yep.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's one of those characters, though, that could get screwed up if it isn't done right or written well.
Yeah, I do think Lars Mikkelsen is a little older than I thought they would cast. I thought they would cast like a kind of a tall, younger, dark-haired type,
Movie
guy.
magic. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't obviously use movie magic, but I mean, I thought Thrawn would be just more of, I don't know, more of like a big, tall, dark-haired model that they found.
Avenger-esque person, right?
Yeah, kind of. I mean,
right.
to be honest, kind of. Yeah, because there's book
people...
pictures of him and comic pictures of him, and you see Lars Mikkelsen, you like his voice, but he just doesn't look like how I think he would look.
Right.
I don't know.
Hey, they can get those dudes ripped fast in Hollywood. I don't know how they do it, but
look at Kumail Nanjiani, right, for the Eternals. Yeah. Have you seen the
look
Eternals
at me.
yet?
Look how ripped I've been getting here.
I
for
know.
my
Wow.
film debut.
Just like that. I know.
Personal training at its best.
I actually did some push-ups in gym class one time, and it really wasn't for me. So I just decided to stop.
A what? Oh, a push-up. Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's where you like push yourself up out of the chair because you can't get out after having so many beers. It's really difficult. Yeah.
I know that is the push-up and crash into the floor, so that's why I was confused.
Well, okay, where was I? Okay, Ahsoka, yeah. Otherwise, plot points? I don't know. Maybe somebody else in the chat knows. Where am I? Here we go. Pop said, same thing happened with the Avengers when he was at the theater. Yeah. And Endgame was cool too, but it wasn't like Infinity War. I watched Infinity War so many times, and the ending of Infinity War gives me goosebumps, like chills, and like leaves me sad and yet impressed with what they did every single time I watch it.
I love those movies. They're great.
So many times. My son, who was like probably 8 when it came out, he's 10 or so now. I mean, like, he cried when Spider-Man died. He was like bawling when Spider-Man died. And I had to be like, bud, trust me, he's almost surely coming back in the next movie. We just got to wait. Like, don't worry about it. He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Right. It seems like good things could happen. You didn't really know, though, did you? You didn't know that that's how they were going to end it.
Oh, yeah. And when Cap says Avengers Assemble in Endgame, obviously a great moment. Just the moment where Sam comes down the speaker and he's just beaten down. You know, he gets up with the broken shield. He's ready to take Thanos on. And, you know, hearing the call and then him flying in, all the circles from Doctor Strange, everyone rolling in. It really was even better than I thought. I just thought there was no way they could make it as good as they did. And yet the ending was great. The way it played out was great. I loved the, you know, Thor, Iron Man, Captain America against Thanos. I loved that.
Classic. Oh, yeah.
It was so good. And, you know, do you know they throttled Thanos down for the movies? Like, you know, anybody who was a comic fan or watched into the animated shows know Thanos had way more powers than you know, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Thanos gets really all of his power from the gauntlet, right? I mean, he's basically like a stronger, smarter Hulk in the Marvel Cinematic. I mean, he can shoot laser beams out of his fists. He can do all kinds of crazy shit in the, you know, in the comics, but they took away all those powers. But anyways, digression.
It worked though.
Right?
Yeah, that all worked. I'm not super versed on the comic books. I have a friend that's really, really into comics, so I get a lot of my information secondhand from him.
Yeah, I was into him for a very long time. And it's one of those things where it's like school, wife, kids. And then now my kids are somewhat self-sufficient. And so right now we got a YouTube channel. We're talking Star Wars and we're talking nerd culture stuff whenever we can. So, and hopefully more often and with more content and, you know, all kinds of more stuff. Sire Speed says he prefers waiting. I do too. I like the anticipation. I like to talk about it each week. Guess what I think is going to happen. I like to watch reviews of other YouTube channels talking about it and giving their guesses. Yeah.
I've quit the speculative Star Wars market since I found this channel. I don't watch Mike Zero anymore. I don't watch that.
Well, no one should watch Mike Zero. Seriously, the first few times I saw his videos, I was like, no shit. And then I like do a little more research and it's like, oh no, this guy's just totally lying and making things up and it's total clickbait. It's like, and I don't know how he is still like, how has everyone not reported him and just shut his channel down?
I don't know, man.
I honestly don't know.
Because he uses a lot of things. I think it could be, maybe, it sounds like it might be those. Yeah,
it's just speculation. He gets down there and just says, I'm hearing, or this might be. It's like, that's all not true. And anybody who watches more than 2 or 3 of his videos immediately should be like, oh, this guy's full of shit.
Yeah.
Because he's never read about anything. He just makes shit up.
It's kind of like his own, maybe it's his own theories. It's probably just completely made up. You're right. And he's just packaging it fairly nicely.
Yeah. Well, he's done enough to get a bunch of subscribers and probably what he does for a living. See, Sire Speed says he heard the Crate Dragon theory too. There you go.
That's cool.
So if that was my on the spot trivia question, when I didn't prepare for the movie, I think I'm already 1 for 1 on a tough question. There
you go. So that's a killer moment you could see in the new Obi-Wan. Oh man, I'm so excited for that too. That one is
right. Oh my god, that one's gonna be so.
So I think Hayden Christensen's confirmed for Ahsoka. Also, I'm pretty sure.
I heard that too. I don't know if that's confirmed, but I did hear a rumor too that he's going to be in Ahsoka as well. And you know what's so weird is I was not a Hayden Christensen fan at all.
Me neither, honestly.
I thought he was the worst actor in the prequels, and I thought sometimes he totally takes the scenes away from the other actors. But that being said, I mean, one, he was a great duelist. Like him and Obi-Wan, him and Ewan McGregor did a great job on their choreography and all that stuff. They did a fantastic job on that stuff. And yet, I'm excited that they're bringing him back because, I wouldn't say I was a hater, but I didn't like him. I was like, he's just not a good actor. He didn't do a great job. And you could argue it was the writing and some of the dialogue that George Lucas wrote and all that stuff. A lot of people, criticize that stuff. But he got a lot of flack for it and really, kind of had some hard times because of it. And social media people just go after those people. And I can just be I don't, he can be a great guy. I didn't love him in Star Wars as an actor. Doesn't mean I hate him. Doesn't mean I'm going to try to ruin his life. And so
it's you
suck. So I'm excited that he's coming back. I actually am. And I actually think he'll probably do a great job. So.
Well, with the new writing and the new directing and their ability to pull in the tiniest detail that makes perfect sense. That's what I love about the subtleties of the new series is they're just, without forcing the nostalgia on you, they're really tying pieces together. Yeah. And it feels like that's what they're really trying to do is kind of fix some things. I don't feel like I've seen Darth Vader's full story. I don't feel like I've seen Anakin Skywalker's full story. I feel like there's something missing from that.
Yeah, it's just because you get the prequel series, which is supposed to be Anakin's story, right? You're telling his story, but there's still, from episode 3 to episode 4, there's a gigantic gap where all kinds of stuff happens. And that's why a lot of these shows are telling the story between those time frames. Yeah. So, and by the way, Pop says he lives in Texas where it's 80 degrees. Pop says you shut your beautiful mouth.
Yes. I couldn't do it without him.
He does too. He lives in Houston. I think Pops that lives in Conroe. I don't know where that. Oh, he even just said it right here.
Yeah,
Conroe.
Yep.
Where is Conroe? Is that by Houston?
It's about 2.5 hours drive one way from his work.
Did he say that in the chat?
No, he calls me sometimes when he's on his way home from work for like 2 hours on Instagram.
Oh, good luck when it does get cold and your grid fails again. You got to get a generator, Templar, so you can make sure that you can be in the lives, right?
Right.
Yeah,
We've actually, after that, we solved our heat problems. We've installed propane gas range for our cooking and a propane heater in the house also. So if the power goes out, we're warm at least, and we can cook. And
Yeah. Brent says he's got to read some of these Star Wars books instead of just reading Stephen King. I don't know if I've ever read a Stephen King book. I read a lot, not as much currently as I'd like to continue reading, but like that's why we're called the BookBarBros, is because my brother and I are both big fantasy and sci-fi nerds, and we read tons and tons of books. And so that's why you see bookshelves behind me. Excuse me. Like, I don't know if anybody is familiar with Brandon Sanderson, Stormlight Archive. I've read all those books. The Wheel of Time, Robert Jordan. I think I'm in book 4 or 5 on that one. And the Wheel of Time show comes out on Amazon very soon. Have you ever heard of that?
Oh yeah, I've watched some of it.
Some of what? Wheel of Time? Is Wheel of Time out?
They're in there like episode 4, maybe 5 now.
Holy shit. I totally forgot about that. I have to go watch the Wheel of Time. Anyways, the books, obviously it's older. It's more of a Lord of the Rings with twists on it, but books are long, but they're fantastic. And so, yes, I have to watch that now. I got to make another note of that.
Yeah.
Dune, read the books, haven't seen the movie yet. And again, Tyler gives me shit every day for not, again, it's just hard to the kids and the family and work. It's hard just to be like, hey, I'm randomly by myself going to go to the movies for 4 hours.
Right.
I'll be back. Yeah. My wife will be like, what are you talking about? Get back.
It's for the show.
I know. And so I think it's on HBO Max, and my brother was going to give me his login so I could try and watch it at home.
There you go.
Have you seen the new Marvel movies? Have you seen Shang-Chi and Eternals yet?
I did. I saw Shang-Chi. I did not care for it. I watched it 2 or 3 times. It just wasn't for me. I'm not sure if it was the writing style or the pairing of the actors. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't. I had about the same reaction to Black Panther. I really enjoyed that film, but something about it wasn't as interesting.
Seems like something's missing almost.
Right. Yeah. For me, they were fantastic movies, obviously, but I have not seen the Eternals.
Yeah, Shang-Chi was different. I kind of liked the almost Jackie Chan style kung fu fighting. And again, that maybe is that racist to say that it's Jackie Chan fight? I don't know.
I don't think so. I think you'd appreciate it.
I like the kung fu. I actually thought some of the fight scenes were kind of funny. But the thing that I was most proud of watching that movie is the female lead, who is Shang-Chi's friend, right?
Right.
Spoiler alert for Shang-Chi is she has such a unique voice. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, where have I heard her before? I know her. I know that voice. Why do I know her voice? And then I was like, I've watched Raya and the Last Dragon with my children many, many times. And I don't know if you've seen it. If you've ever seen Raya and the Last Dragon, animated Disney movie. I'm like, she is Sisu. She's the dragon from Raya and the Last Dragon. And I had to confirm it, and I believe it was confirmed. So I was very proud of myself for pulling that one out of there.
Really funny comedy series. I don't know which. We have them all, so I don't know which platform it's on. But
I think it's on Netflix.
Right. She lives with her mom and a brother, maybe, and it's hilarious. The mom's hilarious. There's an aunt that's funny. It's a pretty good show. So yeah, I mean, I thought it was okay, right? Yeah. The ending, again, spoiler alert for Shang-Chi, was almost a little too CGI-y and too, do you know what I mean? Big alien crazy creature battles. Yeah. It wasn't so much necessarily about Shang-Chi and his, you know what I mean? So they were showing off some special effects. Big time. And the special effects were good, but not great. I would say at times it felt old. It felt like older special effects. It didn't seem as crisp as they typically are. Right. If that makes sense. Anyways. So yeah, good, not great. Good, not great is how I do it. You haven't seen Eternals yet, huh? Nope. That didn't look very interesting to me either, and mostly because of my not being familiar with the story at all. Just no clue. I'll see it, I'm sure, but yeah, you should see it. Again, I would say I won't spoil it since you haven't seen it. Good, not great. I was expecting a lot. I think there's just too many characters in that movie. It's really hard. There's 10 Eternals, and when you have 10 characters that you're trying to introduce that no one knows, how do you learn about them? You know, everybody loved Guardians of the Galaxy, but they were funny, and there was only 5 of them.
and much harder to introduce twice as many main characters in addition to villains and other characters. So there's just kind of a lot going on in the movie. But again, good. I enjoyed it.
That was
Not
some
great.
of the first things I heard was that there was too much going on the screen, and it should have maybe been 2 movies or perhaps a few standalones along with that, which I'm sure they're going to do anyways. But
yeah, there's going to be more Eternals movies. It even says it at the end. And that's right, Brent, on your left, right there. And he turns around. God, it's so good. The initial Star Wars was better than Endgame. Now, oh boy, that's a tough one because I didn't watch the initial Star Wars in the theater, and everybody who I know who's older who did see it, right, like in 1977 when it came out, because came out a few years before I was born. But like,
is he saying Infinity Wars or Star Wars? Sorry.
Oh, I thought he meant Star Wars.
Yeah, I didn't want you to go on.
I was gonna compare, but you're right. But I would agree that Infinity War was better than Endgame. Endgame was still good, but my only problem with Endgame, because I could just go on rants about this stuff all night, is the Thanos factor, where they took our Thanos, the Thanos we know, the Thanos who snapped and who wiped out half the population, and they just got rid of him. And, because he had depth, he had a purpose, right? He had, to the point where like people are making videos on YouTube arguing that he was right and that he did the right thing, right? Because again, we could have these types of debates all the time of saying, like Cap, he says like, we don't sacrifice people. We don't do these things. And Thanos looks at it and says, okay, I get that that's bad, but the alternative is we all die. It's just, but like, you don't want to put anyone in that situation where it's like, let's just say this is a horrendous example, right? This is just a horrendous example. Let's say you have 3 children and someone breaks into your house and says, you pick which one of your children, this is going to get so dark, which one of your children I'm going to kill in front of you. If you don't pick one, I'm going to kill all of them. Like, that's like the Cap situation. It's a darker, but it's like, I'm trying to get the point across,
right? That
you should see how a rational person, even if it's random how they choose, should choose one child so the other 2 children can live. Right, even though it's awful, and you don't want to pick you didn't kill the child, right? The person who broke into your house did. This is so dark. It's going back to the whole Thanos and Captain America debate over whether or not they should have culled, half the population, or what he did to his home planet, genocide, all that stuff. It's like, and he's right. They didn't do it. They didn't take his suggestion, and so his entire race died out. And it's like he didn't want to be right. Right? He didn't want to be right. He wanted to take action. But anyways.
That's what I loved about those films, because I found myself relating to Thanos the whole time. Like in a logical sense, like what he's saying makes sense. What he's doing, he doesn't enjoy it, apparently. And he's doing it because he feels he absolutely has to. He has no other choice to save the rest of the universe, or however he's looking at it.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm
That's
like,
exactly
that
right.
Who wouldn't do that if that was what they were faced with?
Right. So from Thanos's point of view, the Thanos we knew before they killed him right away in Endgame, he watched his own population die, his own planet die, because resources on your planet are scarce and we eventually consume them the same way we will on Earth. Are you and I going to be around when it happens? No. But Earth does not have infinite resources, right? And at some point we will mine this planet, and it may be thousands of years, it may be millions of years. But at some point, this planet will not survive anymore, right? It's just how long, or do we colonize other planets, or who knows? But he sees it happen to his own planet, and he wants to go prevent it, from happening on other planets. And now he knows that if he goes and tries to be rational with people, they're just not going to understand.
No.
And so he's on this quest, this journey, to where he understands people will view him in a certain way, but he doesn't care. He's like, he's saving them. Deep down, he thinks he's saving people.
Right.
And that's why
you can't. Yeah.
Yes, and that's why he had so much depth, and he was such a great villain on top of having the Infinity Gauntlet and being freaking awesome, right? But then when they just show up at the beginning of the movie and just kill him, I hated it. I absolutely hated that. and then they just find an older, Thanos in the past that's just more bloodthirsty and is more of a traditional evil bad guy who just wants to kill people. And it's like, God, I really did not like that. I really wish it could have been our Thanos. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But anywho, yeah. The Cap scene was epic. They all were. Those fights were epic. They gave Cap his moment when he calls Mjolnir, obviously, is an awesome moment.
What's everybody's go-to Marvel movie? If you're like Snow Day or Home of the Flu, what's the Marvel movie you're gonna go to first? Like, I'm gonna watch this movie today.
It's a great question. Everyone's gone. Family, whether you're home alone or you live by yourself or you have a family, everyone's gone. You're gonna crack a beer. You get to watch one movie.
Mm-hmm.
Which one do you watch? Templar, which one do you watch?
I think I go with Iron Man 1, but it's a struggle between that one and Thor Ragnarok, because I think Ragnarok's a masterpiece.
I love Thor Ragnarok.
It's a masterpiece of a film.
Thor Ragnarok is so good. Oh my God. I didn't know who Taika Waititi was until he made that movie. And I had seen the first 2 Thor movies and was like, they were fine.
Yeah.
And Chris Hemsworth was fine. And at whatever point, I can't remember if it came out on Netflix all of a sudden, because that was before Disney Plus, right? It was on Netflix before Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then I think I remember somebody saying, maybe it was my wife. She's like, well, let's watch it. Like one night, and we watched it.
So funny.
And loved it. It's so good. It's so funny. Chris Hemsworth is so, I don't man crush very often.
Right.
But that dude was awesome in Thor Ragnarok. And he's hilarious. His comedic timing is hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. And then Tom Hiddleston is Loki, obviously, and their relationship, and just that movie was absolutely fantastic. It's probably it's still in my top 5 Marvel movies.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the one I think I would pick.
I'm not sure for me if that's a chill. Like if I need to take a nap, or if I just need to be still or something, I think that Iron Man's the way to go, because the acting's amazing. The story's so pure, and the technology and the way they wrote it and put it together is so good. And if that movie had failed, none of this would have happened. None of it.
Right. And that movie was great. Obviously getting Robert Downey Jr. changed everything, right?
Yeah.
It set the stage. Set the stage for all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, oh man, what else do we got here? Yeah, there are some out there already. I'm not sure what you're referring to. I'm probably way behind on the comments, but excited when the Middle Earth show. Yeah, that's right. Middle Earth show is coming out too. The Lord of the Rings movies, when those came out, were just epic. I think when you go back and rewatch them, they're a little slow. And I will say, for as good as they were, and as much as I liked them, the ending scene, right, in Return of the King, when they're all jumping on the bed together in slow motion, as Gandalf just watches, and he's like, oh my God, it's one of the stupidest things I've ever seen. Oh my God.
So 9.5 hours of film in that one moment,
and that's the one I can't forget about. That's the one I just can't get over. I can't get that scene out of my head. Oh my God.
I think that DVD set,
that's what I thought it was,
with all the special edition where they put the extra footage in, and then they redid things, and then they showed you how they made the film, like from start to finish. Yeah, that's one of the best DVD box sets ever released, ever. Period. That is just full of fun.
Great. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Jeremy says Civil War. So I did like Civil War, obviously, and it seems like a lot of people are either like Team Captain America or Team Iron Man. You know what I mean? Like in Civil War, because of Civil War. I don't know about you. I'm Team Iron Man. I don't know about you. I'm Team Iron Man.
Well, for my selection, you would think that, but I'm more like Team Ant-Man.
You're Team Ant-Man. Yeah. But and the fight scene was awesome between those guys. Obviously, I think Iron Man wins that fight if he's not damaged. If his suit is not damaged, I think he wins that fight. Even against both of them, he probably wins that fight. But
interesting.
It wasn't a typical, like spy thriller either. Like Winter Soldier was more of a spy thriller. Those are not my favorite Marvel movies. I know like a lot of people will even say, Winter Soldier was their favorite Marvel movie. And like for me, those are lower. Like even Captain America and the Winter Soldier, the Disney Plus show that came out this year, is my least favorite Disney Plus show. I'm just not the spy thriller. Yeah, I'm the spy thriller guy. It's like it was fine, but to me, WandaVision was so much more interesting, and Loki was so much more interesting. And I thought those were both fantastic shows. Like those are A+ shows for me. Falcon and the Winter Soldier is like a B- C+ show for me, just because I prefer those. But
I'd watch Loki beginning to end before I'd start into the Winter Soldier again.
Yeah. Pop says Thor Ragnarok. To be honest, if I was hanging out with a bunch of people and we just were drinking beers and we wanted to watch a Marvel movie and like have a good time, you'd watch Thor Ragnarok. Yeah. Maybe Guardians of the Galaxy would be a good one too. The Guardians movies way better than I expected those to be too. But
1 and 2.
Yeah. Well, and then there was 3. And
I'm so glad. Oh,
the Mandarin.
so
We find out in Shang-Chi. We find out about the Mandarin from Iron Man 3 too.
Yeah, I did like that. I'm watching along. I'm like, hey, wait a minute, isn't that fake dude that played a fake gangster in the first movie or something?
Yeah. Iron Man. Any Iron Man or Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, Guardians 1 and 2. I liked 2 also. It seemed like everybody loved Guardians 1, and people were hit or miss on Guardians 2. I still really liked Guardians 2. With Kurt Russell as Ego, the Living Planets, and there was a lot of exposition where Ego's just like telling the whole plot to everyone, the whole story, but still, it was pretty good.
Stone's character is like the top dog, and he was great. That was
he's a Ravager. Good. Yeah, he's like the head Ravager.
I cried, wept physically during that movie in the theater when that end scene where Yondu gets his sparkles and colors. They're so beautiful, and oh my goodness, in the theater it was so incredible to see that. I'm like, wow. But I was like, oh, that guy's gonna I started crying. My wife's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, he got his color.
That's so funny because I'm pretty sure I also got choked up watching Yondu's funeral and his death scene. And I'm like, why am I? It's Marvel. They just do it the right way. And what did I saw? What was it? Some comparison where they were talking about how, like, when Star Wars and the way they kill off Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi, right? And you're kind of like, oh, Luke's dead. But then in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 kills off a background character in Yondu, and everyone is weeping, right? Like everyone's like, no, not Yondu.
Not Yondu.
And I'm just like, that just goes to show you that the people I think that they have at Marvel, like, I've heard rumors about Kevin Feige, and now I heard Kathleen Kennedy got re-upped. I honestly don't know how that happens. I really don't. And with just Feige and his team and the way that Marvel puts things together, I just think, oh my God, what if they got a hold of Star Wars? And I know Taika Waititi is currently working on a Star Wars project. Thank God.
Oh man, you imagine.
That'll be fantastic. But I heard Rogue Squadron is either delayed or has been canceled. Did you hear that?
I think I have heard something about that.
Patty Jenkins, who was going to do Rogue Squadron, the one director from, I think it was Wonder Woman, that Rogue Squadron has been either delayed or has been permanently set aside, I think. So
interesting.
Yeah, hopefully Taika Waititi comes in there and just directs every single Star Wars movie going forward because they'll be so much better. Yeah. Oh, man.
He's had some skills, that's for sure.
Paul Rudd, his man.
Ant-Man,
Paul Rudd is one of those guys when women used to say they thought he was attractive, I'd always be like, really? Like, I think he's a fine looking guy and he's funny and like, I like him, but I never like, and then I just saw he was like named sexiest man of the year.
Yeah. I thought it was a joke.
I was like, what the hell? but Paul Rudd, it's funny too, though, because he there's that joke about how like Paul Rudd doesn't age, but it's true. Right. Like Paul Rudd in like a movie 25 years ago looks the exact same as Paul Rudd now.
Right.
Like he looks the exact same. And it's so funny how just like men and women tend to age differently. Have you ever seen the before and after from Top Gun of Tom Cruise and what was the actress? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
I can't remember who it was. But it was like Tom Cruise however many years later it is, 30 years, 35 years later, looks almost the exact same. And the female actress, I forget her name, she looks like a 20-year-old bombshell, and then she looks like a 70-year-old woman. Like, you know what I mean? She looks like she aged 60 years. Tom Cruise looks like he's 2 years older. And it's just,
Right.
It's so weird, like in Hollywood, how it always seems like men don't age. But yeah, Paul
Some
Rudd.
do.
Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
He is hilarious, though. He's just,
Oh yeah.
God damn it, he's
I
hilarious.
like that kind of humor too. It's not direct. It's just there.
Yeah. Brett says, but you bow to no one. Great moment. Yeah. God, it's all so good. X2 from 2003. Well, okay.
Those are good movies.
Now,
Those are good movies.
yeah, they're not technically in the MCU, but they're probably about to be, because I think we all think that the multiverse means they're going to have some show, some movie, something that is going to tie these in, just like Spider-Man No Way Home, which we haven't even talked about. That comes out in 2.5 weeks. And I'm super excited for that one. Have you seen the preview for that one?
I have. It looks good. I'm excited to see what they do with that multiverse idea.
Oh man, we're gonna watch that one right now. Spider-Man No Way Home trailer.
Do you remember my photo I posted in our chat about the Easter egg that's hidden in the movie poster? It's like a dude standing there on the top of a building. It's just like a programmer or something standing there in a t-shirt, all hidden in the background.
No. I think I did. I think I did see that.
I'm like, what the heck is that?
Oh, so I'm gonna let this play in the background here. Hold on. 4, please. I gotta wait. It's running an ad on me. And we're almost done with the ad. This is awkward silence. Gotta love it.
Hey, while we're waiting, I have a mystery box up, everybody, right now, and there's 5 left. 5 left. And with your coupon, if you look close, it's guaranteed value with your coupon code at 10% off. And
tell us about it. Tell us.
I don't remember what the coupon code is. There's
what are the top hits? What do we got?
The top hit was Captain America Glow in the Dark Hot Topic. It's currently $360. And the second hit was Carnage UV, which I kind of reluctantly put in there because I needed a filler between the top and the middle piece. So there you go.
Yeah, so let's bring that up right here. Can I do maybe this? Will this be easier? Will this work? No, that's worse. We're going to do it this way. X2 was a great movie, by the way, Unboxing Treasures. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Can I make this bigger? Yeah, here we go. So Ride the Rail. Can you guys see it? So I had this pop at one point. This glow-in-the-dark Hot Topic Captain America.
It's really cool pop. Really
it's a great pop, and I put it in one of my very first ever mystery box runs that I ever did, and the Pop Sith got it.
Oh yeah,
and that might have even been how I met him. Like Pop Sith was probably when I posted this mystery box, and I think he bought a couple boxes for my first run. And he got the top hit. He got this one right here. Yeah,
he does that a lot.
I think he has pretty solid luck on when it comes to mystery boxes. So there you go, right there. Templar Pops. If you love Funko Pops, you love mystery boxes. 12 boxes. How many are left? Did you say
5 total right now?
5 left. 165 each. 155 value. 1 to 4 pops. And then didn't you had another cool one in there? Ooh, is that OG Ghost Rider?
It is, and there's OG Stitch. Flocked is in there. These like this page. I'm trying to. As we all know, PPG has been crazy lately, and retail market's flooded. So some of these pops in here, you can go out and find them. I'm not gonna lie. And I tried what I've been doing now after our little conversation is I'm valuing out the boxes a little bit closer to retail on stuff that I know you can still get, and I'm also overvaluing the boxes just a bit, so that way we have a little bit better. The guaranteed value is going to be a little more solid from going forward.
Gotcha. Yeah, that Stitch down at the bottom right there. Yeah, that's a great one. And then the glow-in-the-dark Qui-Gon. Oh, that's a good one, too. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. OG Splinter.
Yep.
Blacklight Hulk. Carnage, obviously. There's Cap. And then you had a few other pictures, right?
Yeah, there's some new events. Like that Scooby-Doo Hex Girls is new. And
the Tick. Have you did you ever watch The Tick?
Oh yeah, that's a great show. So
I grew up watching that show, and it was so stupid, but it was so funny.
Oh yeah,
it kind of reminded me of Space Ghost Coast to Coast. If anybody who's a little older remembers Space Ghost Coast to Coast, I used to watch that all the time too. So there you go. Grab it. 5 boxes left. $165, 150 guaranteed value. 1 to 4 pops. some big top hits. Well, and Glow in the Dark Captain America 360, that's a little low for him. Like,
yeah, it was around just over 400 when I picked it up. So it's down low.
Say he was rotating between 400 and 500 for a long time, so he could definitely go back up. Funko Shop Carnage 230, and he could go back up too.
I feel that's low valuation on that pop too.
Yeah, he could go back up there too. So yeah, awesome. Check him out, TemplarPops.com. Grab some of that. Awesome.
I added a new feature to the website. We were talking about PPG with Luau a couple weeks ago, and so now if you go to the front page, you'll see on the ad it'll show the top hit. You can click that link. It's linked to the PPG for that hit now. So if you link over, it just brings you right to PPG for Captain America.
Oh, really?
I'd love to do that with every pop that's in the list. So that way that you could go literally go through and check prices, but it's just that it takes so long.
Oh, I bet. So you're saying,
yep,
this is on your website. So you're saying if I click this,
yep,
can you see everything I'm doing now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, no shit. Look at that. Wow, look at that. And you see, this is what I'm saying right here, is that there are sales a few months ago in the 475 to 510. See?
We're still viewing my webpage for some reason.
Oh, because it opened it in a new
window. There you go.
Gotcha. So, well, yeah, but no, it did take me to the PPG, so I'm looking at it. No one else is. But yeah, so that's cool.
Yeah. It's something. It's something, it's something to anchor people to those price points. And I want PPG to be right, but it just sometimes isn't. So,
yeah, I think we all know anybody who is a collector who buys Funko Pops is PPG. You and I were on with the Luau a few weeks ago. And we talked about mystery boxes and PPG and how hard it can be because as a seller, it's just, you've got to get them at a good deal if you're going to sell them, and you've got to be wary if they're going to drop after you sell them. And then if they do drop and then people are upset or they want a credit and then they go back up, you don't get your money back from them. And so, and what if you sell something low and then it goes way up? So there's a lot of risk in doing mystery boxes. And so like the whole point of this is if you see somebody who's got $100 box out there and it says $80 guaranteed value, like if you're doing it solely for PPG, I would say you're in it for the wrong reason. Like, what I think Templar tries to do and everybody tries to do is give you a fair amount of pops for the price you pay. And then, you try to give away a couple of so somebody hits a jackpot and gets some really great stuff. But, if you're going to sit there and say, well, it's at $80 guaranteed, mine only came in at $78 because they went down $2. And I would just say you shouldn't be buying mystery boxes if that's what you're worried about.
Right. It's the wrong place for you.
I agree. Yeah. And then while we're talking mystery boxes real quick, I have what's probably going to be my final mystery box. I have an auction. You can follow me on Whatnot. Probably my final mystery box. I'm going to do it this Sunday, December 5th, 5 p.m. Eastern. If you don't know what Whatnot is, it's like a collectibles auction site. I have 150 boxes. They're only $22 each. There's no guaranteed value. So there's some coal in there, but there's a lot of great stuff in there too. And the top hits are the glow-in-the-dark Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is worth like 700 or 800. Bank Robber Joker, 400 or 500. I've got Bane, the OG Bane from Batman in there. The Freddy Funko is the Devil 500 piece, worth like $250. And I've got a bunch of other great stuff in there too. So the last I checked before we came live today, like 50 of the boxes out of 150 have already sold.
Oh, that's great.
And I'm going to crack all of them live on Whatnot this Sunday. So we're going to open all 150 boxes. We're going to see what everybody gets. And what I'm going to do is wrap the top hits in wrapping paper, like Christmas wrapping paper, so that when we find one, we can set it aside and open them all at the end, because I don't want to open Obi-Wan and like the third box and everyone's like, oh, well, shit, now I know I didn't get Obi-Wan.
Right. Nobody buys the last 47 boxes.
Exactly. And if there's boxes left, nobody's going to buy them. So
Clever.
We're going to wrap them up in paper, Christmas paper. We're going to set all the mystery, those ones aside as we get to them. And at the end, hopefully we have 6 wrapped boxes and we'll see who gets the top 6 hits. So should be a lot of fun. Check it out. There you go.
I want that Obi-Wan back.
And anybody who buys 4 or more boxes will get a special gift, a thank you gift from me in their shipment. So, and several people have done that already. I've got hats, extra Funko Pops, t-shirts, books. I just put random shit as a thank you in my boxes when I ship stuff out from Whatnot all the time. So if you collect on Whatnot, check it out.
I think that's a great mystery box. That's a classic box, a huge hit, cheap boxes, no guaranteed value. buy 4, buy 6. That's what I would do on those boxes. Definitely. That's what I will do actually when I get around to buying a few. But
yeah, I would say, it's hard to say because for the first time ever, like I didn't PPG them. I was just, I took every pop I had and I put them in there. And so there's $8 pops, there's $15 pops, there's $30 pops, there's $50 pops, there's a couple $70 or $80 pops. And so like there's stuff all over the spectrum. Like could you get to $8 or $10 pops? Yeah, you could, but you're only spending $22.
Right.
And I was going to do these for 25 each, but then I thought, no, I want people like with the shipping fees to have it more like 25, right? Because I'm like, then you're getting into 30 or so. And if you get $8 to $10 pop, people might be like, that sucked. And so I tried to put it as low as I could, to where I could still get my money back for all my pops, but I could give a fair price. So I settled on 22. I couldn't go any lower than that and make it work. So
that's a great
number.
That's
where it is. That's where it is.
5 boxes would be 110, and you're going to get some free swag to go along with it. It's a no-brainer.
You'll get free swag, and really you only need one or so okay hits to be fine. You know what I mean? And I would say probably about 25 to 30% of the boxes are $20 or more or whatever.
There you go.
But two-thirds of the boxes are probably in the $10 to $20 range. Yeah. So Pops says he's after that Obi-Wan. Everybody's after that Obi-Wan. Everybody. I know Jedi John, a bunch of other guys were messaging me and commenting on Instagram saying, I'm coming for that Obi-Wan. It's Christmas. It's Christmas time.
I need to get myself maybe a couple of the Boba Fett 1000 piece, because I think that's going to skyrocket after that show releases.
I think that is one of those pops that could, I think it could hover around $1,000+ for maybe ever and only eventually go up and up and up.
Yeah. I saw one for sale earlier at $950, and I didn't check PPG to see what it is currently, but last time I was looking, they were around $700 to $750. I could find them for that price fairly easy.
Yeah, I think the lowest I've ever seen him is around $650 or $700. Is the lowest I've seen it, but it typically has been between $800 and $1,000. Yeah, because when you get a cult character like that and then limit it to $1,000, people want it.
I know.
You limit Ping Pong Freddy Funko to $1,000, nobody gives a shit about it.
Nobody at all.
Brett says, which box has Obi-Wan? Here's the thing, Brent. What I do, and this is gonna take forever, is I go live on Instagram. I pull up a wheel of names. I put numbers 1 through 150 on there, and then I spin the wheel, grab a random box, and whatever the wheel comes up, I number the box and set it aside. So that's how I number the boxes. So, and I do it live on Instagram so everybody can see me do it. And I just try to be as transparent as I can, because even when you think you're being transparent, somebody always finds a way to complain about something. So I'm like, I'm just going to try to go live. I'm going to try to do things as, whatever. And I'm going to leave the mystery box stuff moving forward to people like you, Templar, the professionals. And it doesn't mean I won't collect still. I'll still buy mystery boxes. I'll still sell stuff on whatnot. But
hey, you know how to do it. You can always do it again. It's know.
And so, but I don't really have any plans for any more mystery boxes. So this is going to be almost like a going out of business sale for me.
Well, I think initially said that the idea was to kind of fuel the Star Wars channel with the Funko channel. And I feel like the Star Wars channel's doing just fine on its own. No offense. I don't remember the last time I've watched one of your unboxings. Sorry. No offense.
I haven't done them anymore. I stopped doing them. Yeah. So, and that was like, I met you and I met Popseth and I met Unboxing Treasures and I met so many people through the Funko community, which has been awesome. But I mean, I really just, there are some negative people, and just like any area, any community, like I'm sure there's some scammers out there and there's some people that I have dealt with that I don't necessarily trust, but it's like, I have met a lot of great people in the Funko community. A lot of us share common interests, right? I mean, like, you and Unboxing Treasures, Pops, everybody who comes here all the time is Star Wars, right? I mean, we love Star Wars, and we kind of started this as a Star Wars channel. And growth has been a little slow because we only do one live video a week, and that's it. Because right now with work and family and kids and everything, it's hard. It's hard to do more than that for us. So we always talk about doing more stuff. We have plans. We're building a YouTube studio. We talked about this last week. Templar and I talked about it before we went live. It's going to take a few months, but we are building a studio in the basement. And like, this is going to be a thing for Tyler and I. We are going to have this channel going. We're going to keep it going. We're going to expand it. Star Wars is a passion of ours. We love Star Wars. We're always going to talk Star Wars. But we want to talk Marvel too, right? Dune. When the Dune movie comes out, we want to talk Dune. And so it's probably going to be morphing into more of a nerd culture, type of channel.
Yeah, which is great because then you'll have people that will watch certain aspects of the content. Some people watch it all. Some people will just be tourists, YouTube.
Right.
Yep.
And so, I mean, we're always spitballing ideas. And by the way, anybody who's watching this, whether you're watching live or on the replay, I mean, let us know what you think would be fun to see Tyler and I do. If you've ever seen Tyler and I, for a stream before, we love to drink. We like to crack jokes. We love to be sarcastic. And so we have all kinds of stupid ideas on how to fun things we think we can do. We were talking about doing like drunk movie watch throughs where when we get the studio built, we will literally just slam beers, watch a movie, and just crack jokes as much as we can. And then we were thinking, we could clip that down to like a 10 or 15 minute highlight video and then release like the full 2 hour, 3 hour unedited version, like on Patreon. Right.
Director's
like for our
cut.
Patrons. Yeah. Like the director's cut for the patrons. So they can see all the mistakes we make and, watch us laugh. Because do you ever watch blooper reels? Templar, like,
Oh, yeah.
I love watching blooper reels.
Oh, yeah. They're the best.
So funny. Oh, my God.
You see the people's best personality in those blooper reels. And like, I think that wasn't it Rogue One, the scene where, I'm sorry, the droid character comes around and slaps what's his face in his face and says there's a fresh one where that came from or something.
Yeah, K2SO. He does that. He does that to Cassian.
Right.
Yeah. Oh
and that was a blooper. That wasn't in. They didn't plan that. Watch the behind the scenes, and they say that was just an improvisation, and it was so funny. Cassian actually starts laughing and puts his hand over his face. He's laughing in the scene because it was so hilarious, and they just left it in.
I actually feel like I heard. Now you say that, I was like, I didn't know that, and I'm like, no, maybe I did hear that.
Yeah, I think it was just something that was so good they couldn't take it out.
Yeah, and Unboxing says we should have someone come on and quiz us. So again, we have reached out not to a lot of people. Like we've been pretty selective about who we reach out to on other channels. And so some of the Star Wars trivia people who are like on the Schmodown, we've reached out to them, but obviously we're a smaller channel. We have less than 200 subscribers. We haven't made a lot of videos. And so it's like, if you want to collab, people are always like, well, why would I collab with you? We did have a guy, Steele Saunders, who was going to come on. He had something come up, and then he even called us and said he would reschedule. And so we still might do one with him. He was on a Schmodown once. He has his own video podcast called Steel Wars, the Steel Wars podcast. He talks nothing but Star Wars. He's a funny guy, Australian guy. And so he was thinking about coming on the show. We were going to do like a versus trivia. We quiz him, he quizzes us. And so, that stuff's in the works. We've talked about it, but it's like, we want to get the best on, we watch the Star Wars Schmodown. If anybody who doesn't know what that is, it's just movie trivia. And there's like a Star Wars division. And so we're trying to occasionally, get some of those people to come on the show because we want to quiz them and we want them to try and quiz us because those are the ones that do it. Tyler and I do it pretty hardcore. Trust me, there are people that do it way more hardcore than we do. Way more hardcore than we do. So we even thought it'd be fun to quiz them. We thought it'd be fun to like get one of those champions to come on for a half an hour or an hour and to quiz them. But, we'll see. Templar, have you ever seen Mystery Science Theater 3000?
Oh, yeah. I stay up way too late to have missed that. What am I trying to say?
I don't know.
I stay up late.
You need another
I've
beer.
Seen it.
I stay up late. I've seen it. Period. End of sentence.
I still have. See, I have half. That's pretty good. This is a good Pilsner, Czech Pils.
Yeah, what is that? We got the Czech Pils, and that's a Maine brewery, right?
It is. Bunker Brewing. I haven't heard of these folks before.
Yeah, you got to get the local companies. Tyler and I said this a long time ago. We started this channel for free beer. It was just to try to get, we're going to talk about beer, what we're drinking. I don't know if White Claw, I feel very embarrassed drinking White Claw hard seltzers, but I told Templar before we came on the show, Tyler was in town and he and I, whenever we get together, we just get hammered drunk. And so we stayed up until like 4:00 in the morning, which I only ever do when Tyler's in town and we're drinking and hanging out. And so otherwise I go to bed way before midnight these days because I'm always exhausted. So I'm trying to to ease my body back into a state of normalcy. So I'm trying to give it a few days. And so I'm drinking White Claws and I'm eating lemon slices because of Templar. So
And you're into the lemon slices. You're welcome.
they're
That'd be a
actually not
regular
that bad.
thing.
I think I've got one good one left here. Should I?
I
Okay, here,
swear.
hold on.
I'm so trendy. I'm telling everybody. In a week or two, it's going to be a thing on Instagram. Like it'll be the trending hashtag. You suck a lemon.
These are not made to chug. These are not made to chug. Oh my goodness! But what we're gonna do is before we keep moving, finish up here. Here we go. Augie, you did miss it, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it again because I've had a bunch. So here we go. There's no one. I love Ohio State.
Yeah, you do.
I gotta say,
oh, embarrassing.
it's really hard to talk with those things in your mouth. So I had to suck a lemon and say which sport team I hate the most. I have to say I love them. So obviously I have to say I love Ohio State. But right now I do love Ohio State because they finally lost. Of course, to my Michigan Wolverines, who are number 2 in the college football playoff. And if they beat Iowa, they're going to go get ready to play for a national championship.
You never know. This could be the year.
It could be. Also, they could lose to Iowa, and then it doesn't matter. So we'll see how it goes.
Hey, what's up, Augie? Thanks for popping in. He said he wasn't sure if he was going to make it tonight because he had to work, but looks like he did.
Augie, I think Augie grabbed one of my whatnot boxes. I think he wants that. He wants that Obi-Wan too.
Augie's gonna have to arm wrestle me for it.
Everybody. So
it'll be the one box. Someone will buy, just randomly pop in, buy one box, and there it goes.
That's
like
almost always the way it works.
Yep.
Is right. I already know because a bunch of people have bought 4.
Right.
Because I'm going to give away bonus stuff. People who buy 4 boxes, and like you said, it's going to be that one person who just hops in, sees it, and goes, "Well, I'll give it a try."
Right. Let's give it a whirl.
Well, I'm going to give it a whirl, and they're going to end up winning. That's always what happens. So.
Right.
But
that's what I've instructed my wife to do, is just pop in and buy a random box here and there.
You say new Luke and Jar Jar is up for pre-order.
Yeah. Luke, end scene of Mandalorian Luke with the green saber and
the hood. I think I saw that right before I jumped on tonight. Is that Entertainment Earth?
Yep.
Which is great because I can get stuff Entertainment Earth.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's a new Jar Jar?
I think Jar Jar was GameStop.
Why would they make a new Jar Jar?
And it's all ridiculous. It's like a gaming grate. So it's GameStop gaming grates Jar Jar. So it's from one of the games.
I do like the gaming grate sticker. I don't like the new GameStop sticker, but I like that gaming grates.
It's growing on me because I love the EB Sports sticker. I love the EB Sports sticker.
That's kind of a cool one.
Yeah.
I liked the old GameStop sticker. The new like circle one with the plain text is ugly as shit. I don't get it.
We're only 4 hours from Quebec City where I live, and we've been dying to go to Canada and do some Funko hunting over there so you can get Toys R Us and all their exclusives and the EB Sports and what else is over there. There's a bunch of stuff. Plus all the collectors up there. I don't know what that scene's like in Canada, so we're excited to get over there and do some hunting at one of these days.
Toys R Us is still up and going in Canada?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yep. They're supposed to be opening satellite toy stores inside of one of the big retailers, like a mall retailer, like clothes. It's not JCPenney. It's not Macy's. Pretty sure.
Really?
Yep. They're going to open up a satellite toy store inside of Macy's. It's 200 and something of them in the U.S.
No shit.
Yeah.
I actually still have. They've closed a lot of Macy's. There's still a Macy's in the mall right by my house. Surprisingly.
Yep.
And if we ever walk in there, there's never anybody in there. I mean, usually a few old ladies looking at the blouses, and that's pretty much it when you walk into Macy's.
And a whole bunch of Funko freaks trying to find exclusives from Canada.
I never find anything in Macy's. I've actually looked before, like if we ever go in there with the family or the kids, and like the only thing they ever have are like Fortnite pops. That's the only thing I ever find in Macy's. Yeah.
JCPenney's has pops and Black Series figures sometimes.
Really?
Way overpriced though. So like, what's a Black Series around $19.99 to $24.99 retail? but you go in there and it's like $34.99. But they're gonna give you 40% off of that.
What?
Yeah.
Wow, what a deal.
I went in there looking for something. I saw I was looking at Marvel action figures, Marvel Legends. Is that the series?
I think so, yeah.
And they had a whole bunch of them, and they're like, sweet, maybe they're super cheap. I'll just buy them and flip them on eBay. No, they were like $35 a piece. I'm like, for like Rogue from like 18 years ago, it's not even worth $8. I'm showing the lady I'm on eBay, showing the counter lady. I'm like, look, man, I'll buy all these for $36, every one. Misa,
Unboxing Treasure says Misa's so happy. So here's funny side note. For anybody in the chat who knows Mike from Wide World of Gamers, if anybody knows him, he's on Instagram. He has a YouTube channel. He does some unboxings and stuff like that too. He's a collector. He's a high roller collector. Like, he went in and dropped like 30 grand on one of those Pokemon old school ultra rare boxes. Like, he does crazy shit. The first time we chatted with him on the show, he the pops he has in his collection behind his wall, you know, he's got like the Jamie Lannister Freddy Funko. He's got a headless Ned. He's got all those multi-$1,000 pops sitting behind him. He's got all the big stuff. Anyways, long story short, the one time he came on the show with me and Tyler, we were talking about Jar Jar Binks, and he kept talking about Jar Jar Binks. So Tyler and I started joking about how, of course, Jar Jar is his favorite character. So what I did is he and I had a mystery box battle. For anybody who remembers that was a long time ago. He and I did a mystery box battle on the channel, and I won. And so one of us had to do like a humiliation. It took me forever to actually get it done. But what I did is I found on eBay a Jar Jar Binks poster, like a big Jar Jar Binks poster, right? Like just his face, like just a big poster of Jar Jar Binks' face. And I signed it with a black Sharpie that said, "To Misa biggest fan, Mike, love Jar Jar." So I sent that to him, and I don't know if he ever actually put it. I only sent it probably like 3 or 4 weeks ago. But I mean, he has to put that up in one of his videos. He's got to have it in the background, in the shot, the whole time during the whole video. So, yeah, that's his humiliation.
Jar Jar merch is hard to find. I was trying to find a Jar Jar hat, just a regular baseball cap with the floppy things. It doesn't exist. It's not out there. Nobody even bootlegged it.
And
that's pretty
exist.
bad. Right.
I mean, it shouldn't exist. That makes perfect sense to me.
All right.
Do you guys think that the new glow in the dark have gotten lazy as hell? Well, glow in the darks to me they're way up and down. Either they're like really cool, or you just look and you're like, why did they do that? The answer is so they could put a glow in the dark sticker on the package and make everybody buy it.
It's like the low key, just the Tesseract glows, and you can barely see it. You have to charge it for a month directly from the sun with a magnifying glass, and then it glows. But I agree.
You've got to fly halfway to the sun, hold it out there for an hour, and then come back.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of them are. Some of the old, I like the full glows, like the old holographic glow in the dark, where the whole pop glows. You know, like the old Yoda glow in the dark, or the Obi-Wan stuff like that. Those are cool. You see, the new GameStop sticker is trash. You're absolutely right, Popso. Absolutely right. That just red circle with the white text. It's trash.
I'll be right back. I promise.
You go right ahead. Jeremy says you can order Funko Pops through Macy's. Through Macy's website? What? I don't know. I've never heard that before. Unboxing Treasures. What was that one where you got all the Friends Pops? That's the one I beat Mike. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Box Treasures. Yeah. Those were high roller mystery boxes. And he had, if I recall, he bought 4 of that run and I bought 1, and I got to pick the box that I battled, and I picked the only box that I would have beaten. And yes, I got the entire Friends set, the OG Friends set, all 6 pops, which was pretty cool. That was a cool set. I'm just not a Friends fan. So I sold those. Did I sell them or did I put them in a mystery box? I think I might have put them in a mystery box. I can't remember, but Yeah, Pop Sith, you're right. Full glows are they're absolutely the best. They are. And for me, I'm not even that partial to any particular style or whatever. Everybody knows if you know, well, everybody knows. If you watch my channel before, you know that like I don't leave much in the box in my own personal collection. I really don't. Like obviously up top you can see the 10-inch pops out, right? What do I got to go here? See that? That's Mando with the child. There's the full child. I've got the Luke with land speeder. That's a really cool Funko Pop. I love that one. That one's going to sit on the shelf. I've got the 10-inch Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty with my signed like script from Lawnmower Dog episode. And then that, you can't see that. That is the Endgame 10-inch Thanos. And then I've got the Infinity Gauntlet and some other stuff back there too. The ones over here, well, those are, you can't see that. Those are lightsabers right over there. So I have an Anakin Skywalker blue lightsaber and a Mace Windu purple lightsaber. And then the three, am I going the wrong way? These three right here are the Empire Strikes Back Bounty Hunter Pops. And so I've only gotten 3 so far. Yeah, I've got Boba, Bosk, and I think, is it IG-11? Yeah, I don't have my Dengar yet or the other ones, but. Yeah, Boxing Treasure says the 10-inch Crow Mandalorian holding the child is out of box for me too. Yeah, especially 10-inch pops. I just, displaying stuff in box on a 10-inch pop is so weird. It takes up so much space, and it's like, is a 10-inch Funko Pop really going to be worth $500 or $1,000? Templar, what's the most expensive 10-inch pop?
Oh, that's
chat. Unboxing Treasures, Pop Sith, everybody.
Yeah.
What's the most expensive 10-inch pop? Like, if you're literally like, well, I don't know if I should take this out of the box. First of all, finding a 10-inch pop that has a box that isn't damaged in some way is very difficult because those things are always dinged and dented and cut on the top. But the only one I've ever had that I think has been worth more than $100 ever was one of the Futura art series Boba Fett's.
That's the only one I can think of. Maybe the Superman Chase, the recent Superman Chase, might be up around $100. Yeah, maybe. You're right. It's metallic. That's a sick one. I wouldn't leave that in the box. That would be sick to have out of the box.
That one is really cool. That's one of the few, the metallic red eye Superman Chase 10-inch pop. I bought 2 of those from Walmart trying to get a Chase. They canceled one of them like they do, and the one I got was a common. So, but yeah, then I had both Target Futura Boba Fett's, and one of them was worth like $60 and one was worth like $120.
Yeah, I think it's the red one that's more hard to find, more difficult to find.
Yeah, and I still have, I've still got the black one with the red paint. Again, I'm going to do the wrong side. But, oh no, I did it. That one right there. That's the black. That's the black one with red paint right there too. So
I have all those out of box too. The child, the chrome Mandalorian, and also Boba Fett, the original green one with the original paint color that they did a year and a half ago.
Yeah, I actually really like those. And the art series too. Now we're going down the Funko line. We're talking Star Wars Funko though. The art series, at first I really liked them. And it's just like anything, when they become oversaturated, I lose interest.
Yeah.
And same thing with Blacklight. Blacklight was unique and it was something different, and they were sharp looking. The boxes were sharp looking. And then now they're just making everything in Blacklight.
Yeah.
And
it would be nice to see some limited stuff, some limited number, 1,000 piece, 2,000 piece.
Every now and then, give us a limited convention exclusive Blacklight or something. Yeah. Closest thing we have, of course, is Carnage, right? And look what happened. The one limited edition Blacklight Pop skyrockets in value.
Yeah. Yep.
The lightsabers, I've had these lightsabers for years. They're the Force Effects lightsabers. I mean, you can buy them on eBay, but lots of retail stores and stuff. They're the ones that light up, and you can my friends and I, when I was a little younger, not young, but a little younger. Oh, we'd have full on lightsaber battles in the backyard in the dark because it was just freaking awesome.
I've never fought a lightsaber.
No? That's awesome. It's actually really hard because, everything's choreographed in the movies. Right. So fighting for real with just a stick is actually really hard. You always just end up whacking someone.
Right.
So
just gotta fight real slow. Real slow.
Sire Speed, a particular 10-inch pop in the box, or just you keep all of them in the box? That's what I wonder. Was there a 10-inch Sully? I don't remember that.
Maybe so. I think it was a long time ago, though. I do remember that there was a con sticker. Maybe it was a Disney Expo exclusive or something like that. I think I know what he's talking about.
Really, the only one I can remember is I just think of Flock Sully.
I'm gonna scope it out. Let me check.
Crazy. Probably some rare SDCC 9 or 10-inch that's really hype. There might be, but yeah. See, I can't think of any. I really can't. Freddy Funko, Maleficent, a Buzz Lightyear. Yeah, I mean, give us something. If we're talking about 10-inch pops, like just give us something limited. I want to say, didn't we just get the Galactus? Wasn't he a 1,500 piece?
Maybe
2,500 piece, maybe.
Is that 10-inch or 6-inch?
No, they were both 10-inch, right? Didn't they do? They did a 10-inch with a chase, and then didn't they do like an art series 10-inch Galactus that was like 1,500 or 2,500 pieces?
I think you're right. Yeah,
but I don't know what those are selling for. I've never looked them up, so yeah, I have no idea. Oh. I don't know if the prices come down, but I did get the $297 Boba Black one as well as the $367 high price, but I don't think they were under 100 now. Yeah, both the Art Series 10-inch Bobas, the Target exclusives, the red and the black, were between like 70 and 120. But 10-inch Mando Chrome inbox, the Mando Chrome holding the child, I think you mean, right? Yeah, that's what I got up there.
I can still find those, honestly, retail in our local area. Our local BAM had probably 6 or 8 of those last time I checked.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the regular child. I remember one day I just went to Target and it was sitting there, and I was like, "Yep, that one's coming home with me." And you can't keep that thing in the box. It's half your room. I mean, like that thing is ridiculous. I actually can't believe it didn't cost more.
I know. What was it? $30, $24.
Yeah, but I'm surprised it wasn't like $40 or $50, like a convention 10-inch would be.
Yeah.
They did the White Rabbit Alice Pop. Never made it to the public to buy, just in store in Hollywood. I don't remember that one. I despise the fact when Funko does like a Hollywood exclusive and only lets one store in one city get them. I absolutely despise that. I hate it. Hey, if I lived in LA, right? Or is it Seattle? Where's the other one? Isn't it up in Washington somewhere? Isn't that where headquarters is?
Yep. Seattle.
If I live there, great.
It's not Seattle, but it's
like actually like Everett or something, I think it is.
Yeah, Everett. That makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah.
I've never, except for I think Tourist Freddy. Remember Tourist Freddy? That was a Funko Hollywood exclusive, and I think that's probably the only stickered pop from that place that I've ever had, either in my collection or for sale.
I've had a few. I had a Slee Stack once that fluctuated between like $50 and $100. It was usually around 70 from, is it Land of the Lost? Is that what Slee Stack is from? And then I had the sunglasses, Big Boy, and the sunglasses, Marilyn Monroe, right? And so those were basically like $50 pops initially. And then they like came down because there was a bunch of them, right? And they were like $25. And then I think I just saw someone recently. You know what? I'm even going to look this up.
Yeah, why not?
Because now I've got to know, and we can end the stream now. We're actually going a lot longer than I thought we would because we had no agenda today. I was like, "Hey, Templar, you want to come on? We're just going to talk about Star Wars and Funko or whatever the hell we want."
Any minute now, Tyler's going to interrupt from the future and be like, "You have to save humanity. You must stop talking about Funko Pops."
Let's see. Is it? Yeah, I mean, it's this one, right? I got to do the variants, and then there's a signature version now. Okay, now I see. So hold on, I got to find it now. I can share it. Share my screen here, and we're gonna go pop price guide. Okay, so you can see this. Okay, now.
Yep. Oh yeah, sweet.
So yeah, this is now $180.
And it's only 2 years old. It's not that old.
I mean, again, like I had like 4 of these. I mean, like because I was buying these from. I don't like saying names, so there's several mystery box companies that like when I first started buying a lot from, I could tell they were obviously in or near Hollywood or they were near Everett because
Right.
I would consistently get these pops where it's
Mhm.
like, they're getting them from the shop because they're just going nearby and getting those ones. And,
Yep.
and that's fine. If they're really good Funko Pops, it's like, that's great for me. Right. It's like, I'm not paying too much more, but I mean, I remember this thing, it was like $40 and it was 30 and it was like 20, 25. And I'm pretty sure that all the ones of this I had, I just put like in a mystery box is like a $25 pop. And now this one's worth $180. And I would have never guessed. I would have never guessed this one would go up. So you can actually see it here. This is a signed version by Mike Becker. So obviously they must have done some event.
This is new. This signed pops. When I was building the mystery box this afternoon. I was almost every pop I scanned had 4 variants. I'm like, there's not 4 variants of this pop. I know there isn't. I'd look it up, and there was a signed one and a custom in there, and it pulled everything up. And that's I think that's new. Must be. I've
been seeing that a lot more as the signed pops. So now I got to go. Did I spell Sully wrong? Is there
I
an
think
E
it's
in Sully?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Not that I knew.
You can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here is, that's a soda. Now I got to see if we can find, I don't think there's not going to be too many Sullys, right? All the alien Sullys. Jeez.
It'll be the last one. They should list them in order of value. Really.
Toys R Us. Do they? Is that how they're initially
should be
filtered? Yeah. All right. Well, let's go. Oh man, way too many stuff. Way too many. Okay.
Yeah.
Scroll
back up. I think you just went by it.
Holy shit.
There it is.
Well, is this regular socked or flocked Sully, or is this the oversized one?
I think that's the oversized. Check the variants.
Four variants. Okay. So we've got Metallic University 350, regular University 39, flocked San Diego Comic-Con. It doesn't say it's oversized or anything though, and it doesn't show it in the box.
Click the
this
big link.
This is just click which link?
The top link that says Sully parentheses flocked at the top.
Right, that's just the regular 480 piece flocked.
Okay.
Sully.
Interesting.
Oh, you guys probably couldn't see that, could you? So then what we're saying is somebody thought there was a larger version of it. Maybe not. I don't know. Oh. Sully large with Boo metallic. This has got to be it. $960. 2012 Sully large with the Boo metallic.
Click that. We should be able to see a box, maybe. Lucky.
There it is. Yep. Doesn't that look bigger? That looks bigger.
Cool. It opened in a new tab. So we can't. All we're seeing is the launch.
That's right. I keep forgetting. Yeah. So yeah.
Cool. There we go. Investigated and discovered.
Boom. See, that's what we do here. We fact check. That's what we do. Buzz Lightyear with Zurg is $2,700. Jesus. That's ridiculous. Galactus is $175. It's crazy. Sully with Boo Metallic, $960. He's got it. Yeah. For $2,000. Crazy. Anywho, well, that's about it, man. We've been going an hour and 40 minutes. I've been having a blast.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep you any longer than I already have. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, everybody, for joining the chat. It was a lot of fun talking Funko, talking Star Wars, talking everything. I had 5 pieces of lemon and 2.5 White Claws. It was a lot of fun. Check him out, Jeremy, Templar Pops. He's got a couple of boxes left, unless they've already sold out while we've been on the stream. So there you go. He's got 5 boxes left. TemplarPops.com. Glow in the Dark Captain America top hit. And what was the second top hit? It was
Carnage.
That's right, Blacklight Carnage.
Yep.
So check him out. Check out, you can find him on Instagram too, Templar Pops. Jeremy, thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us on this just kind of impromptu fun live where we're talking about whatever we want. Hope to see you guys next week. We'll have more information out there. Check me out on Whatnot, and we'll see you guys next time.